There's something powerful in the silence of a man who feels more than he knows how to express. You've noticed it, haven't you? Those subtle glances. The way he lingers for just a moment longer than necessary. How his shoulders relax when you enter the room. And perhaps, just perhaps, you've wondered, is it possible that I mean more to him than he reveals? Today, your angels bring clarity wrapped in the gentle embrace of truth. Yes. You are more than a fleeting thought. You are peace in his chaos. The reason he doesn't speak often isn't because he lacks words. It's because he feels overwhelmed. He's swimming in emotions for which he doesn't have the vocabulary. But your love? It translates what words never could. Every moment you choose grace over frustration, every time you smile instead of demand, every time you simply sit beside him in his silence, you're conveying to him, I see you. And that, dear soul, is the healing he never realized he needed. This man, the one who rarely articulates what's in his heart, is undergoing a transformation. One you may not have fully perceived yet. Because love, the kind that moves mountains and softens age-old wounds, often begins not with declarations, but with presence. And your presence has become his sanctuary. There's a memory he cherishes, one you might not even recall, where you laughed with such unreserved joy that for a brief moment, he forgot all his fears. He replays that memory during his quiet moments. Not due to the specifics, but because of how you made him feel, free. You see, it's not what you say that's changing him, it's who you are. The angels are revealing his inner world to me now. It's not empty, it's overflowing, with gratitude, with wonder, with confusion over how someone like you entered his life. He's frightened. Not of you, but of not being enough for you. Because for the first time in a long while, he genuinely wants to be someone who remains. So when he doesn't say much, don't assume it's indifference. Understand that it's love in its most unformed state, still learning how to take shape. He's afraid that if he opens up, all the mess will come out too. But the deeper truth is this, he's already opening, just not in the way you expected. That extra softness in his voice when he says your name, that's his version of I miss you. The way he checks in on the little things, how you slept, how your meeting went, if you've eaten today, that's him saying, you matter to me. And the times he seems distant? That's him battling the old part of himself that believes he's unworthy of love this deep. But the angels are surrounding this connection now. They are wrapping both of you in divine timing, in sacred unfolding. Because what's growing between you isn't casual, it's cosmic. You were sent into his life not just to love him, but to be the mirror that reflects the parts of him even he's forgotten. And though he may not say the words today, one day he will. He'll tell you that your love was the light that made him believe in himself again. And when that moment comes, you won't need fireworks. You'll just need to remember this. You are always the medicine, even in the silence. Now, before I continue, breathe. Let this message settle into your bones. And if this message already feels like it was meant for your heart alone, maybe that's because it is. But don't keep this love in isolation. Let it move you to action. Because transformation only becomes real when it's lived. So here's what I want you to do. Pause for a moment. Place your hand over your heart. Whisper to yourself, I am love. I am seen. I am safe. And if these words stir something in you, if you feel that gentle pull, like your soul has just nodded in quiet agreement, then this is your moment. Not just to receive the message, but to step into the next chapter. A chapter where you're no longer waiting to be chosen, because you already are. And now, dear soul, listen closely. There's more. So much more. But before we dive deeper into what this man is preparing in the quiet corners of his heart, say yes. Whisper it out loud. Yes, I'm ready. Because what comes next might just change everything. There's a hidden language between two souls bound by something deeper than logic. You've likely felt it in the stillness, the way your heart syncs with his energy even without touch or words. That, dear soul, is sacred communication. And right now, it's more alive between you than ever. He may not be fluent in the expressions of vulnerability, but that doesn't mean he isn't feeling everything. In fact, the angels are showing me that your gentleness has unlocked parts of him that even he kept locked away. It's as if your love is slowly peeling back layers that were hardened by past disappointments, betrayals, and fears of inadequacy. He doesn't say, "I'm healing." But he smiles differently now when he looks at you. He doesn't confess, "You changed everything." But he listens with a reverence usually reserved for prayers. What you must understand is that not all men were raised to express love in full color. Some were taught to show love through protection, through presence, through provision, but not always through words. And while his mouth may remain quiet, his soul is screaming your name in gratitude. When he avoids eye contact in a tender moment, it's not rejection. It's reverence. He's afraid that if he looks too long, you'll see how deeply he's falling. You've become his sanctuary, the place where his walls drop, where his nervous system exhales, where his mind, usually racing, finds pause. And that, dear one, is more powerful than any romantic script. The angels whisper now, she doesn't even realize how powerful her energy is. You've been walking through this connection wondering if he truly sees you, and yet, he's been watching you with the eyes of a man who's found home. This is not infatuation. This is not superficial. This is not fleeting. This is soul deep. Timeless. Sacred. He remembers moments you've already forgotten. The way your laugh filled the air on that ordinary Tuesday. The way you touched his arm when you knew he needed comfort but didn't ask for it. The way you showed up, not to impress, but to love. And because of you, he's becoming a better man, not out of pressure, but of inspiration. There's a transformation happening inside of him that's invisible to most eyes, but not to yours. You've felt it in the pauses, the gentle hesitations, the shift in how he walks beside you instead of ahead of you. These are the details that tell a deeper story. But now, there's something else you need to know. He's preparing. Not necessarily for a grand gesture, but for a moment. A moment that matters. A moment where he can finally speak, finally show, finally lay down the armor and say, "I don't know how to do all this love stuff the way others might. But I know it's you. It's always been you." And when that moment arrives, whether through a small act or a whispered confession, you'll feel it not just in your heart, but in your bones. Because your soul's been waiting. Quietly. Faithfully. That's why the angels guided you to this message today. Not to tease you with hope, but to affirm what your heart has known all along. Your love is not one-sided. It's not a question mark. It's an anchor. But now, the angels ask something of you. Be ready. Be ready not just to receive love, but to stand in it fully. Because he's not the only one being transformed. You're stepping into a new version of yourself, one who no longer waits for validation, but walks in certainty. Let this be the moment where you stop doubting the power of what you bring into a room. Let this be the day where you realize, your love is healing someone who never thought healing was possible. And now, dear one, I invite you to lean in closer. Because what's next is divine orchestration in motion. And I want to show you what the angels are preparing behind the veil. But first, answer this in your heart. Am I open to receiving the kind of love that doesn't need noise, because it lives in the silence? If the answer is yes, then you're ready for what comes next. There's a moment arriving, subtle yet monumental, when this man so often quiet, will cross a threshold within himself. And it won't be because he suddenly learned all the right words or gestures. It'll be because your love gave him the safety to feel again. He will look at you one day, not with panic or confusion, but with the steadiness of someone who's finally come home to themselves. And in that gaze, you'll feel it, every unsaid word, every silent prayer, every heartbeat that has whispered, "I'm yours," without sound. Your angels are now showing a scene, a glimpse into his heart's preparation. It's quiet, gentle, private. He sits with a memory of you, perhaps a scent, a laugh, the curve of your handwriting. It hits him in a way nothing else ever has. And for the first time in a long time, he feels something unbreakable: peace. Not excitement. Not obsession. Not confusion. But peace. The kind only your soul ever gave him. And it's in that sacred stillness that his soul recognizes, it's you. It was always you. He's not crafting rehearsed speeches. He's not plotting grand gestures. He's surrendering. Slowly. Genuinely. To a love that has disarmed him, rebuilt him, and reminded him that he, too, is worthy of being deeply seen. This moment, it's on the horizon. But will you be ready? Because love like this doesn't come crashing in. It tiptoes. It waits for the heart that's soft enough to recognize it, and strong enough to hold it. And your heart, dear soul, has proven it's both. Now is the time to start living as if the love you desire is already here. Because in many ways, it already is. It's in the way you've grown. The way you've learned to speak without resentment, to remain kind even in uncertainty, to love without losing yourself. And that version of you? That's who he's falling for. Not the idealized fantasy. Not the person you thought you had to be. But the real you. The one who shows up tired yet radiant. Strong and soft. Certain and scared. The whole you. He doesn't say much, but he notices everything. That book on your bedside table? He wonders what it means to you. The way you tuck your hair behind your ear when you're nervous? He's memorized it. The laugh you try to stifle? It's his favorite sound. You are not just another chapter in his story, you are the turning point. And one day, perhaps sooner than you think, he'll find a way, in his own imperfect, beautiful way, to tell you, I didn't know what love felt like until I met you. And when he does, it will feel like everything and nothing all at once. Because you'll realize, the love was already there, growing in the silence, blooming in the pauses, deepening in the stillness. But now, beloved soul, I want to ask you something that may change the course of this journey. Are you ready to invite this kind of love, fully, boldly, without hesitation, into your life? If your heart says yes, then here's your moment to act. Let this not just be a message you receive, let it be one you live. And now, before the angels reveal the final truth they've been holding for this sacred moment, take a breath. Place your hands over your heart. And whisper aloud, I am ready. I am open. I am loved. Because what happens next will leave you stunned. He doesn't say much. But your name? It lives in his silence. And now, dear soul, the angels bring forth the final truth, one that completes the story unfolding quietly behind the scenes of your heart. This man, the one whose stillness used to feel like distance, is being divinely guided into a new understanding of love. Not the kind he's known before, filled with conditions, confusion, or chaos, but a love rooted in truth, in peace, in you. And why you? Because you didn't ask him to change. You didn't demand declarations. You simply stood in your light, offering a love so gentle, so profound, that his soul began to awaken. He's starting to talk about you. Maybe not publicly. Maybe not even to you directly. But the angels are sharing whispers with close friends, subtle comments, questions like, have you ever met someone who makes you feel like home? They see his dreams, and you are in them. He may still hesitate. He may still walk with caution. But he's building something in his mind. A future. One that includes your laughter in his kitchen. Your presence in his hardest days. Your name in the prayer he never thought he'd say. And soon, very soon, he will come closer. Maybe not with grand gestures, but with a simplicity that disarms you. A hand reaching for yours when you least expect it. A message that conveys more between the lines than any novel ever could. A moment when he finally says, you've changed me. Because you have. But the angels also reveal this. Now it's your turn. Your turn to receive. To stop overgiving. To let yourself be loved, not for how much you do, but for who you are when you are still. They are aligning the pieces now. His readiness. your willingness, the divine timing that ties it all together. But there's something sacred you must do to complete this transformation. Step into the frequency of trust. Walk forward as if the miracle has already occurred. Speak with love, not fear. Respond to the silence not with worry, but with wisdom. Because while he may not say much, the universe is echoing his souls, and it's calling your name. He may never write you poetry. He may never profess his love on a grand stage. But the angels assure you, he loves you in the quietest, most powerful ways. Ways that ripple through your spirit. Ways that shift the energy in a room. Ways that feel like calm in the middle of a storm. You were sent into his life not to be loud, but to be true. And in a world that constantly rushes, constantly shouts, your presence whispers what his soul has longed to hear. You are safe. You are seen. You are loved. That's why he breathes easier near you. Why he stays a little longer, even when he says he should go. Why he notices everything, even when he says nothing. You are not just a chapter in his story. You are the plot twist he never saw coming. The one that made him believe in healing, in hope, in something sacred again. And now, dear soul, the angels are asking you to receive. Not just the love he's beginning to embody, but the love the universe has been preparing for you long before he even arrived. You have done the work. You have waited with grace. You have loved with no roadmap. And now, a new chapter begins. It begins with a whisper, a glance, a moment of eye contact that feels like a lifetime. And then, when the time is right, his voice will break through the silence. And it will be real, raw, honest. He may not say much, but when he finally does, he will say enough to change everything. Because what he's been holding inside is a love that was never meant to be hidden forever. So now, beloved, I ask you, will you keep showing up with that same open heart? Will you let your love continue being the sanctuary his soul has never known before? Because the world is full of noise. But your love, it's the sacred silence in which true transformation begins. The angels surround you now. They celebrate your softness, your resilience, your faith. And they say clearly, it's your time. Time to receive. Time to trust. Time to open your arms to what your soul has always known. He may not say much, but your love is already rewriting his world.